which means that it's time for another live Q&A all about Amazon and eBay dropshipping. And today I thought we would kick things off by going over my income report for Amazon dropshipping for the last month, which was November of 2018. Put together a little report for all of you. And so let's get right into that. So this is my Amazon dropshipping report. I'm not sure why this is okay. Okay, so the cool thing about Amazon is that they will actually let you download this really useful report here. And this report really breaks things down, makes it super easy to kind of see how much money you've made and how much the expenses are. So if we look here on the top, you'll see that the total income, according to this report, is $52,834.75. So that was there. You see that most of that's from fulfilled by merchant from dropshipping. We did mess around a little bit with FBA, just basically sent one item in and that sold. So that's why you see that came up, but we're not really doing that. That's just, so if you see that, that's what that is. And on the right, it tells you all the expenses, which it says here was $7,900. Mostly this is selling fees, service fees. We pay $40 a month for a professional selling account. Refund administration fees. I'm not even sure what that is. Something I'll have to look into. I think it has to do with when you refund customers. I don't know why they charge a service fee for that. So I'll look into that one. And they show you all the selling fees that were refunded for any returns or refunded items or canceled items as well. Down at the bottom, they show you everything to do with transfers out. So Amazon holds your funds for 2 weeks before or 14 days before they send out the payments to you. So I was sent $31,881 during the month of November. Obviously, there's a lot more being held by Amazon until those 2 weeks are up, and then they'll send me the rest of the money bit by bit. So that's kind of the breakdown of the whole report. It's really nice that they do this for you because it just makes it so much easier to do your bookkeeping because it's all right there. So these expenses, the fees, the seller fulfilled selling fees, those are about 15% of the final cost of the item. So if it's a $100 item on Amazon, Amazon's going to take $15 of it. So that's the way that works. So just to recap, the gross sales was $52,834.75. The Amazon fees and expenses were $7,905.06. That's after all the refunds. If you remember over here on the right, it says the refunds. And again, the income is taking out any refunds as well. Refunds for returns or cancellations. So that brings the total expenses to that. The cost of goods for me was $40,025.42. That's after returns. So it was actually higher than this, but my suppliers like Walmart and Home Depot refunded me for some purchases that were returned. So I subtracted those out of the cost of goods. I also started messing around a little bit more with discounted gift cards. Not a huge amount, but I did save some money by using discounted gift cards. And discounted gift cards are, you can buy, let's say like a $100 gift card for $98. So you save $2. That does add up over time. So I was messing around a little bit with that. So my cost of goods was lowered because of that as well. And price matching and price protection. So if an item is available, if I'm sourcing it from a website like Walmart and it's available on another website like Home Depot for cheaper, well, Walmart's going to match Home Depot's price. In addition, websites like Walmart and Home Depot, if you buy the item today and it costs you $100, and next week it goes on sale, that same item, and it's only $80, Home Depot, Walmart will refund you the $20 difference. So there is some money to be made there as well, which helped lower the cost of goods for me. So that's the total cost of goods, factoring in all of that. Other expenses, virtual assistants, $450. I have 3 virtual assistants running that Amazon store. One does customer service. One does customer service, and they place the orders, and they take care of the account health. And the other 2 just do listing. So I hired 3 of them. It cost me about $450 a month. If you are interested in learning where I hire my virtual assistants from, I have an affiliate link in the description of this video. That is the program I use, or the website I use. And I only get charged about $2 an hour or $250 a month if they're salaried. A lot of flexibility there to pay them the way you want to. You can pay them a fair wage. That's still a good deal for you. So that link to Online Jobs, that's the name of the website I use. That's an affiliate link, but it is in the description of this video if you want to check out that. The other expense I had here was Web Scraper app. That's a software. Actually, it's not just Web Scraper app. It's all the software I use to run my business. So the software that I use to run my Amazon dropshipping business, part of it is Web Scraper app. It's a really incredible software that works really well. This software will scan Walmart's website, see if the prices dropped or the prices increased. It will also see if the items went out of stock on Walmart, and not just Walmart. That's a generalization. It's a whole bunch of different websites that you can dropship from onto Amazon. It checks all of them about every hour. If there's any changes, it either updates Amazon itself. If it's a stock issue, it will put the item as out of stock, or it sends data to another software I use called Informed, and Inform's the one that's going to actually reprice the items. If you guys want to learn more about that, there's a lot there. So I want to make a whole video just about Web Scraper app and why I use it and how it works exactly with this other software. So if you want that video, do make sure you subscribe to the channel. Or if you want to check out Web Scraper app today, I do have an affiliate link. Well, I have a link to them underneath this video, along with a coupon code. If you use that coupon code, you get a discount. But the best thing to do right now is just to subscribe to the channel, because I will be making that video soon about how to use Web Scraper app and how I use it to run my business basically on autopilot, because it does so much of that for you. So that brings, So some other income I had, Giving Assistant is the website I use for cashback. So the way these cashback websites work is I go on to givingassistant.com, and again, I have an affiliate link to them underneath this video. By the way, guys, if I didn't mention this, I am recommending a lot here, but people are always asking me how I run my business, what software I use, what websites I use. So these are the ones I actually use. So if you are interested in exactly what I use, that's why I recommend these products. I wouldn't recommend them if I didn't personally use and love them. So if you go through a website like Giving Assistant, and you can search for walmart.com within Giving Assistant, then you click a button and it brings you through to walmart.com. It's the same exact website you normally shop on, but once you're on that website, anything you purchase, you're going to get cash back on Giving Assistant. So it could be 2% back, 3% back. It's changing all the time. So that adds up quickly. As you see, just in November, I earned $1,600 just from Giving Assistant, just from going through that website. So the other way I earn some cash back is with cashback credit cards. I have a 2% cashback credit card that I got through Capital One Bank. It's a business card. Just as long as I use that card, I get 2% back. It's really reliable. So it's just such easy money in that regard, that you're throwing away money if you're not using these cashback opportunities, because it's just so easy to use them. So that's additional income right there. And so this is the total breakdown. Gross sales, $52,800, cashback, $2,451. So that's total income, so to speak, of $55,285.79. Take out the $7,900 $100 for fees, $40,000 for cost of goods, VAs $450, software $348. That brings the total profit to just over $6,500. So that's the breakdown for November for my Amazon dropshipping store. So I know I've been getting a lot of questions lately about Amazon dropshipping, so I'm going to be having a webinar soon. It's going to be completely free. It's going to teach you guys about Amazon dropshipping. So if you are interested in how I do this, make sure to sign up for it. If you look in the description of this video, it should be the first link, right where there's a red arrow is pointing, but don't click on the screen. Click on the first link underneath this video, and that will connect you and I on Facebook Messenger. And then when the webinar is available, I'll send you a message on Facebook Messenger letting you know how you can get that webinar for free. So again, click that link. You and I will be connected on Facebook Messenger, and I will notify you as soon as I decide to have this Amazon dropshipping webinar. You'll be the first to know about it. So of course, now we have plenty of time for any questions you guys have about eBay or Amazon. If you're not here with us live, consider joining us live next time, because I answer all your questions here in the live chat, but I also save up questions from the week. So if you guys have any questions during the week, feel free to ask them underneath any of my videos and I'll answer them. So for instance, we had Rajesh here said, he commented on one of my videos saying, I'm one of your students. I have a big issue. Amazon suspended my seller account due to authentic complaint. What do I have to do? They're holding my funds and not responding to my emails. Please advise. So this is one of the tricky things about Amazon, Rajesh, is that they are really strict with these different metrics. Let me get this there. Strict with these different metrics, and they are really protective of their platform and their buyers. So this is something that happens a lot. It's called an inauthentic claim by Amazon. Inauthentic is kind of a strange name to use because they're not saying that the item is fake. They just really want to know where the item is coming from. So you have to provide them with invoices. So you have to write what's called a plan of action that addresses all these issues that Amazon has. I'm not going to go into exactly how to write a plan of action because I'm not a total expert on it, but I did make a video recently with an expert on it. His name is CJ. He's an attorney who specializes in helping Amazon sellers. So if you want to watch that video, I'll link it up here. And he gives you some free resources to tell you how to deal with these inauthentic claims by Amazon. But let's see who's here now in the live chat. We have Luxury Card Stores was here first, so welcome. And Jeff was here second. Connie, I think, was there, so welcome, Connie. We have Bobby from Minnesota. Thank you, Bobby. Reminding me he's from Minnesota, not from New York. I made that mistake last time. Okay. All right, we have Austin here for the first live stream. Welcome, Austin. It's great to have you. Let's see. Okay, Project X is coming in with a great question. I'm assuming this is about eBay dropshipping. So the question is, hi Paul, on eBay, yes, it is about eBay. Is there a way I can change my return address as buyers return to my default home address rather than attach labels sometimes? Annoying. Yeah, that is annoying. We have, our community, the Titans Tribe, has kind of found some solutions to this, and I put all of them inside the course, but basically what you have to do is try to encourage them as much as possible not to use eBay labels and to use the one that you send them. So anytime they buy an item from you and the item ships out, you should send automated messages to them, letting them know that the item is on its way. Thank you for the purchase. But also, if you need to return the item, let us know and we'll give you a free prepaid return label. Just always try to catch them before they actually do it. And that's really the best you can do. There's a couple of other little tricks that we've put inside the course as well, but that's really the main thing you should do. All right, Brian asked some good questions here. Brian's asking, so the light's a little bright. Should I wait till January to start drop shipping as a new seller? I'm anxious to hit the ground running. What do you think about starting 2 eBay stores at once? So I'll answer the easy question first. You should only start 1 store at first. I would not start 2. There's a lot to learn here. There's a lot to learn. So you want to make sure that you're putting everything into 1 store, really focusing on that one, growing that one, learning from that one. You can always start a second one later. You can always expand later. I really don't see the point in starting 2 right off the bat. So just start the 1, and that's more than you need to start out. As for the other question, when you should start, you should always start now. Doesn't matter what time of year you're watching this video, you should start now. Now is the best time to start because it's a lot better than tomorrow or a month from now or a year from now. A year from now, you're going to look back, like if you start 2 months from now, you're going to look back and say, wow, I wish I started 2 months ago, because you can grow so much so quickly, but you can't grow at all if you don't get started. So I really encourage you to get started right away if you're interested in it. It sounds like you are, Brian. You're saying you want to hit the ground running, so go for it. There's no reason to delay this. There's no reason not to get started. You know, a lot of people say, you know, now's not a good time for this reason or that reason, or my personal life, I have this going on or that going on. There's always going to be excuses not to get started. There's always going to be something going on. There's never going to be the absolute perfect time to do anything in life, especially something like starting an online business. So if you, you really can't use that excuse, because there's always going to be some excuse not to get started. So you got to push past that and actually hit the ground running. Like you said, just absolutely go for it, because in a couple months from now, you're going to really be thankful that you did. And if you don't, you'll be really regretful that you waited so long. Everyone I talk to, every dropshipper I talk to, and I ask them, if you can go back and do anything over again and change anything that you've done, what would it be? And they all say the same thing, which is that they wish they had got started earlier. That's the number one regret people have. Certainly one that I have. So don't be like everyone else. Don't be like us. Get started now if you can. Let's see. So Andre is asking a similar question. What do you do when Amazon asks you for item invoices and you don't have them? So specifically, this deals with inauthentic complaints, which we mentioned before. So again, check out that video I made with the lawyer, CJ, because he gives some really great advice in there. I'm trying to get the light right. Really great advice in there. And he wrote a great book, which is giving away to people for free. So check out that video. I'll link it up below later so you guys can watch that one. Yeah, so I should also clarify, and thank you for clarifying this, Noah, that Amazon has never asked, Noah's been doing this for a year and has never been asked for an invoice from Amazon. And that's true for a lot of sellers. I just mentioned before about Amazon kind of flagging your account, giving you one of these inauthentic suspensions, as they're called. But that doesn't mean everyone has to get them. Most people don't. It's all about how you run your store. Probably has a little bit to do with luck, but mostly I think it's how you run your store and keeping your store in good health as well. There's no reason you should be getting it if you're doing everything right. It's kind of what I think Noah's trying to say. We have some other people here. Hi, Laura. Welcome, Adam. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. So I have some more questions saved up from the week, so let's check out some of those. So Stefan wants to know, has anyone done eBay dropshipping with eBay as the source? Often when I research products, I notice that eBay is actually the cheaper price, and I can sell it for more expensive on eBay and still make a profit. Anyone have any experience with that? So Stefan, I would really recommend against that for a number of reasons. One, no one's going to buy from you if they could find it from someone else on eBay for significantly cheaper, generally speaking. And the other problem that you have is with the tracking number. So if you buy the item from someone on eBay and they're going to give you the tracking number for it, then if you try to upload that same tracking number for your customer, you're going to get this message right here in red. This tracking number is already associated with another active shipment. And that's not going to be a valid tracking number for eBay. If the buyer opens up a case, you're not going to be able to win that case. So that's the primary issue here. Okay. Let's see. Fantastic Gamer said, if you list an item on eBay for $50 and you can't find the same item for $30 in Amazon and you have successfully sold it, then the buyer tells you his address and you go to Amazon to buy the product and deliver it to the buyer's address. Okay. What happens if you see that the item doesn't ship to his location? How do you avoid that from the start? That's the question that you have. So some items don't ship to some locations. What do you do in those situations? Well, some suppliers will tell you right on the page where the item is located which states they do and do not ship to. Home Depot does that, for instance. Walmart does not. So you just got to learn from experience here. If you try to ship an item into a state and it doesn't let you do it, then delete that item from your store and then add it to a do not list or do not sell list, do not list, and then so that way you don't list that item again in the future. And that's really the best you can do. Connie wants to know how many hours a day my VAs work on my Amazon account. So the one VA is a full-time job, and the other two just spend a few hours a day working listing products. All right, Casey. Welcome, Casey, your first live stream. No, Flynn is asking how I keep track of my profit if I do that with a spreadsheet. That's how I used to do it in the old days. I'm not sure if you're talking about eBay or Amazon actually. So on eBay, that's how we did it in the old days. But now, luckily, the software does it pretty well for you automatically. The software I use is AutoDS. I should have a link to that in the description of this video. For dropshipping on Amazon, we were using a spreadsheet, but luckily that software that I showed you, Web Scraper app, has something built in that will help you keep track of your profit. So we're going to have to migrate over to using that. Obviously, it's a little bit of a change of system, so we got to implement that. But it's great that these softwares kind of keep track of all that for you. Okay, so let's see, did I hit this question? Okay, so Dave's Bargain says, Home Depot boxes don't come, there's no way to do a gift receipt. Do you have an easy solution for this? The only one that really does it is Amazon. Yeah, you're right, but Home Depot usually doesn't include the price anyway. Even though they have an invoice in there, the price just isn't included. And Walmart as well, a lot of times they don't have the price either. Sometimes they don't even have any slip of paper in there. Home Depot never has the price. Walmart sometimes has it. So there's nothing you can really do about it. except good customer service afterward to kind of explain why there was a Walmart invoice in there. Cool. Yep. Glenn's asking if there's a software that will auto send that message out. The one I think you mean for eBay. Yeah, I use TrackerBot. Will do that for you automatically if you use TrackerBot, which is a software that automatically uploads tracking numbers to eBay. So if you use that, you can set up messages to do that. Okay, so another question. Got that one. Okay, so I made a video not too long ago about why I use the global shipping program on eBay. This is when you ship items into eBay's facility in Kentucky, and then eBay forwards the items to the customers overseas. It allows you to sell items overseas with very little extra work on your part. I love it. I get a lot of sales from there, make a lot of money from it, because a lot of times these people are buying items that they can't buy in their home country. Sometimes they're expats living in other countries that miss American products they can't buy anywhere else, and they're willing to pay a lot of money to get them shipped over to them. So yes, it costs them a lot more money. This guy is saying that the flaw is that international buyers will generally avoid sellers using the GSP because of the massive added cost. Well, I don't see what the big deal is. Like, so what, really? I mean, some of them are going to buy it. So you list it up, you're going to get people buying it here in the United States. And if people buy it internationally, that's great too. I mean, what's the big deal if they do or don't? I mean, if they don't really, so they don't. But some of them will, and that's what makes it so great, because they'll usually buy a lot of it because they really like it. You'll notice that some items sell to international customers. That's the only people who buy them, which is pretty interesting. But you also say there's a lot of horror stories about GSP all over the web. If you know how to handle it correctly, you know how to work with it correctly, there's very little problems that can arise that can't be fixed if you know how to use the global shipping program correctly. Right. So Laura is asking about which categories I'm selling on Amazon, because many categories are gated. Correct, Laura. So there's a lot of categories that you're not allowed to sell in as a new seller. You can always ungate those categories, which means they're opened up for you. You can start selling those categories. A lot of them are pretty easy to ungate. Once you start selling, you start getting that sales velocity, start moving things forward, then it's pretty much automatic. You'll be approved for those categories. You'll get pretty much automatically ungated for them. But in the meantime, you can make a lot of money in the categories that don't need ungating. There's a lot of potential just in there. That's where everyone starts their business, and you can do more than fine just in there. Thank you, Ecom. Tomcat says, smash that like button. Thanks for reminding us. If you guys are enjoying this video, getting value out of it, do make sure to give the video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. All right, shameless plug from Swiggle. But it's a good question, so I will do this. So Swiggle is a website that will help you automate price drops. So I mentioned this before, how if an item is on Walmart, it's one price, and next week it goes on sale, Walmart will refund you the difference. So the cashback websites is something different. Swiggle is an app that's supposed to automate this price drop. I don't even know what to call it. So Swiggle automates when there's a price drop, it will automatically help you get the money back for that price drop. To be completely honest, I haven't used Swiggle yet. I've heard about it, and it sounds really exciting. I'm eager to take a look at it. I do a lot from Home Depot, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that they are rolling out Home Depot soon. But I do know that they do have Walmart now, so it's definitely worth taking a look at some of these services. I hope this one's good. I've tried some other ones that didn't work well for drop shippers because we have such a high volume of sales. I just found that it wasn't catching things, but Swiggle is saying that they are aware that drop shippers want to use this service, so they are thinking about adapting this better for drop shippers. So again, I haven't tried them, but they're definitely worth taking a look at them. Okay. All right, Nancy. I was talking before about just getting started, and Nancy agrees. Says, I started this last summer sometime. I wish I hadn't had that fear of being out of my box. I'm doing okay now. I have 2 VAs that are great. Buy the course and go. Thanks, Nancy. I appreciate that. But yeah, the number one regret is not getting started sooner. All right, so let's see some of these questions I had. Did I miss this one? Nope. So Maria wants to know, hey guys, does anyone know if it's too late to hire a VA right now? I haven't hired one yet, and I'm very overwhelmed with all the orders that are coming in. I process orders every day, and I have 2 stores. I get around 45 orders a day, hardly have time to do other stuff with my store. How long does it take to hire and process a VA? Can someone please help? So this was a question from someone in the mastermind group that I have. So it's a great question, and I'm pretty sure Nancy can answer this question. I put Nancy's comment up on the screen before because I seem to remember her when I was talking to her. She's one of my students, how she was kind of hesitant to hire a virtual assistant for a while. And when she finally did it, if I remember right, Nancy, I think you were saying that it was like one of the best decisions you made and you wish you had just hired a virtual assistant earlier. Because the truth is, your business is going to grow now. And as it grows, it's going to be more and more difficult to find the time to hire and train a virtual assistant. So you want to start this earlier if you can and get them familiar with your system earlier so that you can give them more and more tasks. And it's just going to make your life so much easier. And I think Nancy can agree with that because it really is a game changer. It doesn't take that long to hire one. If you use the website that I mentioned before, which I linked up in the description of this video, you can hire one within a week and you can start to have them training and working your store just a few days later. These virtual assistants, they have a lot of experience doing drop shipping on eBay and Amazon, and they are ready to hit the ground running if you find the right one. So do your research, know what to look for with a virtual assistant, and if you do that, you'll find a good one that can really help your store right away, that won't need a lot of training. So IT admin was talking about virtual assistants. What's the difference between, or do you have an opinion on virtual assistants basically from different areas of the world? Is there a different quality of work concerned? What's my opinion on that? So, my general opinion is that these are people, they're from all over the world. It doesn't matter where they're from. You're going to find people who do good work and you're going to find people who do bad work. It's kind of hard to make a gross generalization about them, about different areas of the world. And in truth, most of my virtual assistants I've hired from the Philippines because that website that I use is only for VAs from the Philippines. And the reason I love that one so much is because you get to really set the whole parameters of your relationship with them. And 100% of the money that I give them actually goes to them. A lot of these other websites take a cut of it, and I don't like that. I want 100% of the money I send to get delivered to them, which is why I love them. So I do have some VAs who are from India who I hired way back ago when I used to use Upwork. And so they're from Upwork. And they do a really good job. They work really, really hard. They never take days off, even though I tell them to. They want to work as much as they can. But you have VAs from the Philippines just like that as well. The other reason I hire a lot from the Philippines is because they speak really good English over there, a lot of them. But again, you can find people speaking good English from all over the world. So I can't really make a gross generalization about that. But that's just my observations. Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah, so someone was asking about keeping money separate. How should you organize your money? And Glenn is exactly right. You really need to keep your business finances and your personal finances separate. Even if, I mean, when you're first starting out, if you've thought about it and consulted with people and chosen not to open up an official business like an LLC, and you're going to use your personal credit cards, then really the easiest way to do is use a credit card that you're not using a lot and only use that for business. If you have a bank account, consider opening a second checking account, using that one just for business. It doesn't take that much extra work just to do that. And then should really consider, once you're doing well, or even before that, to look into forming like a corporation or an LLC. LLC is what we formed. But keeping things separate is really critical. So, okay, where are we on the questions? So another question about VAs. Jacob says, is it safe to give virtual assistants? This is one of my students. Is it safe to give virtual assistants details to process orders? I feel vulnerable giving away too much information. Jacob, I never ever have ever given a virtual assistant my credit card information. A lot of websites like Walmart, if you have an account with Home Depot, Amazon will all store credit card information, and you can't access it once you store it. So you can enter in that credit card information into your account, then they can purchase the items without seeing the credit card information. Or you can buy gift cards and give them the gift card numbers, and then they can buy the items with the gift cards. There's no reason really to give them credit card information. And if for some reason you do, use what's called a burn card or one-time use card. And the website I use for that is privacy.com. Check out privacy.com. It's really cool. And because you can make all these burn cards totally legit, totally legal. It's for situations like that where you just want to give someone a one-time off credit card. So I want to take a moment to welcome some new members. Actually, I don't have that lined up, so give me a second. And in the meantime, I'll answer a question. Oh, great question from Fred. Am I always going to stay on eBay, or will I ever just switch over completely to Amazon? The thing is, with eBay, it's just easy because it's so on autopilot. I have the whole system set up. I understand it really, really well, and it's working. I mean, why would I shut down a business that's making me good money? It's still making me more money than Amazon. So why would I shut down that when it's just working so well for me? So no, I wouldn't. I can't see myself ever shutting down the eBay account because it's just working. I mean, why would I shut down a business like that? So now it's time to welcome the new members to the course. So we have Lewis just joined the course. We have Jordan, Oscar. Welcome Derek and William. Welcome Roberta and Norman. Welcome Susan. Welcome Enzo and Blaine, Laverna, Patrick, Mohammed, Yvonne. Let's see who else is here. I think we have a couple more. We have Tony. We have Samuel, Peter, Elizabeth, David, and Keith. Welcome everyone to the Titans Tribe. You are now members of the Titans Tribe, which is our little mastermind for members of the course. So welcome. Brooke wants to know how often I add new products on eBay. Every single day we're listing new products. Is it every single day? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's every single day. Maybe one day on the weekends. Both my virtual assistants who list have off, but I'm pretty sure it's every single day, or almost every single day, at the very least. Okay, so again, we've been having some issues. If you're watching this video now live or recently after I release it, you know that there's been some problems with promoted listings on eBay. And Michael's has heard the same thing that I've heard, which is that eBay's aware of the issue. It's a bug. They're working on fixing it, and they have an estimated time of fixing it of 60. I don't know what 60 means because they don't really give me a concrete number or concrete time over there in eBay. They usually tell me like up to 2 weeks, but every time I call, they tell me up to 2 weeks, no matter when I call. So it doesn't really make sense. Okay. So Michael said you can call, actually. I didn't know this, so thank you, Michael. You can call and ask them to refresh your account, and it actually helps your promoted listings, at least for a short time. So that's good to know. Thank you, Michael. Yes. D. Victoria wants to know if my course about eBay dropshipping is fully up to date. Yes. I just updated it 2 weeks ago. Made a huge update to it. Updated probably about 2/3 of the videos in the course, just trying to make them better. And that's all in there. No, if the customer on eBay opens up an item not received case, and it turns out the item was in fact lost by the shipper, you're not going to win that case. So, you should contact the supplier, and they should refund you. So, it's not going to be really a loss for you. So I'm getting a lot of questions about Amazon. Brooke is asking about optimization strategies. Amazon is a very different beast than eBay. It's a very different system. Obviously, it's somewhat similar because you're selling products online, but they're two very different platforms, very different ways of running their businesses. And in some ways, it's easier. In some ways, it's harder. So it's just very different. Optimization doesn't really work on Amazon the same way that it works on eBay. So again, I'm making more videos about Amazon dropshipping. So if you do want those videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel or sign up for that webinar, which I will let you know when when I'm going to host that webinar. So you can click the first link in the description of this video, and you'll get a Facebook message when I have that webinar. I'll let you know ahead of time. So Bobby wants to know, what happens if a product is delivered and stolen from the customer's doorstep? Good question, Bobby. So in general on eBay, for eBay dropshipping, if the item has been marked as delivered by the shipper, by like UPS or FedEx, that's all eBay wants. If it says delivered, you're off the hook. So if the item was in fact stolen, or the customer is claiming that it was stolen, you can sometimes contact the supplier, and they will either refund you, ship out a new one, open up a case with UPS or FedEx. That's the first thing I would do, is reach out to them and just see if they're willing to help you. in any way, because you'll find sometimes they'll just refund you. And then you don't have to annoy the customer or make the customer mad. You can actually do something good for them. Although if the supplier doesn't help you out, again, you're going to still win that case and you'll still be off the hook. Now, with Amazon dropshipping, it's a lot different. If the customer claims they didn't get it, it's basically their word is trumps everything else, even if you have a tracking number showing it was delivered. So again, it's one of those things you kind of have to know how to work with. There's ways to work with that, but you got to know what you're doing. Again, Amazon is just so much different than eBay in that regard. I live in Brooklyn. I have packages stolen all the time from me. It's such a pain. I have to use those Amazon lockers we have in New York City. So you get the items actually delivered to a lock box that's owned by Amazon. And then you go there, enter a code, and it opens up, you take out the package. Otherwise, a lot of times the packages are stolen, unfortunately. Yes, so I have a virtual assistant training course specifically for eBay dropshipping. And within that course are videos that you can send your virtual assistants that train them. So you don't actually have to make the training videos yourself. I should have a link to that in the description of this video. But if not, you can just go to this website, super simple, VAS, that stands for virtualassistants.com, and you can check out the course there. All right, to answer this question, Angela. Oh, so congratulations, Angela. One of my students posted inside the private mastermind that she just got a huge limit increase for her store and is now at the $1 million mark. So congratulations, Angela, on that huge accomplishment. But I also wanted to pop this up because it brings up a good point that if you are getting limit increases on eBay, like Angela is, then what you'll notice is that once you get to that $1 million mark, you have to go through a special channel to actually get approved for any limit that's over $1 million. And I'm just blanking on the name of it. I'm not going to remember it off the top of my head. Somebody in the comments will know what I'm talking about. It's a special department that has to approve you for limits over $1 million. So congratulations, Angela. Okay, so Jorge had a question about credit cards. Says, this is another one of my students inside the mastermind. Said, do any of you guys use the Amazon store card? I got approved for 5% off most items. So he got the Amazon store credit card, which gives you 5% off. But he's saying the APR is ridiculous. I don't know if it's worth that much. What should I do? Basically. So, Jorge, I always tell people when it comes to credit cards, you have to be responsible with them. And I would never, ever open a credit card and use it and not pay it off in full every single month. That's my recommendation about this. You should pay off your credit card in full every single month to avoid any sort of interest or problems with interest, and actually pay off my credit cards multiple times a month. So that's what I recommend anyone who gets a credit card to do. Okay, this is a good question. Brooke, thanks for the great questions tonight, Brooke. Says, any issues with virtual assistants placing orders and having the orders flagged because they're coming from IP addresses that are not in the United States? Brooke was having some issues with suppliers canceling orders for that reasons, or those orders not going through. And yeah, that does happen with some suppliers under certain circumstances. So some websites you have to have a VPN to access if you're outside the United States, like Home Depot, for instance. So you want to use that, your VAs want to use that VPN to access these websites. And most VAs, if you mention VPN, they'll know what that is. They'll know the free ones they can use to do that. Now, with the credit cards, Amazon hasn't been an issue Um, Walmart hasn't been an issue, but the one that's an issue is Home Depot. They cancel a lot of orders if you try to use a credit card, if you try to use a credit card from outside the United States, or if you're using a PayPal account and the PayPal account's IP is, or the IP used to access the PayPal account is jumping around. So with what works well with Home Depot is gift cards. Sometimes people, actually, now they mention it, some people do have issues with Walmart canceling orders. That could be part of the issue. And again, gift cards help with that as well. But the more you order from Walmart, the less likely your orders will get canceled. So in general, Brooke, no, there aren't issues as long as they're using the VPNs so they can actually access the websites. Um, so Bess wants to know a list of all the programs I use and like. And I should have links to all of them in the description of this video. That's kind of my resources guide. Everything I mentioned in this video will be linked up there, all the different software I use. Excuse me. Okay. All right, so let's see. Do I have any more questions? Okay, so this is a good question from David. Again, in the mastermind, one of my students said, I sold an item for $82, but on eBay it shows $110. What is going on here? So that's a good question, David. A couple things might be happening. So one thing that might be happening is that this might be an international order. With international orders, they're going to pay the price, which was $82, and on top of that, they're going to pay additional fees to eBay for using the global shipping program. And those fees might be like the $28 difference between 82 and 110. That will maybe cover all the different fees. So that could be it. The other thing that sometimes shows up, if depending on where you're looking, is if the buyer used a coupon. A lot of times your item might be priced at $110 and then they have a coupon from eBay that marks it down, although marking it all the way down to 82 is a pretty big discount, so I doubt that's what's going on here. But you'll see a lot of times eBay has these deals like 10% off any order today. Well, you're not getting less money. You're still getting the same amount of money when someone uses that 10% off coupon. eBay's eating that difference. They are fronting that money, not fronting it. They are just eating that difference to try to get people onto their platform, comfortable with it, and making more sales. So that's sometimes, depending on where you look, you'll see that the price is off for that reason. But it doesn't sound like that's the situation here. I'm guessing that it's the global shipping program order. Yep. Angela, with dropshipping, you can maintain above standard rating on eBay. Yeah, Glenn. So not to get too complicated here, but until you're out of PayPal jail, you will need to kind of front the money yourself in order to pay off your credit cards or to actually purchase the items. Okay, so I think that was all my questions. One more. Oh no, that wasn't that one. So any more live questions, I'm happy to answer them. So kind of similar question. Nina, a lot of the VAs will know which VPNs are free and work well. But if they have an issue, you can certainly get a VPN for them. I find the paid ones do work a little better in my experience. Oh, good. Great question from Nancy. Nancy says, hi. Well, first, Nancy, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Hi, how do you get a hold of Amazon to ask questions? I haven't had any luck with that. Nancy, I'm assuming that you have a question about an order that you placed on Amazon for eBay. You can send them messages, actually, or you can just call them. I find the best way to get in touch with them is just to call them. And if you just Google call Amazon, you'll get a number. I've always found the better way to do it, get the fastest response. Okay. So let's see. Closing in on the end, but I want to get one last question in here because there were some really good ones tonight, and I think there's going to be some more good ones. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so no, Mark, if you start a second eBay store, you're going to use the same PayPal account, so you won't be in PayPal jail again. So don't worry about that there. So I want to thank everyone who came out for the live stream this week and for asking all the great questions. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content, and hit that bell notification just next to the subscribe button. That will give you an alert every time that I go live with one of these videos so that you don't miss out. Again, I'm going to be having a webinar soon. If you want to get notified when I'm going to have that webinar, be sure to click that first link in the description of this video so that you don't miss it. I don't know how many times I'm going to do it. I might just do it once. So if you don't want to miss it, be sure to hit that. You and I will get connected on Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you a message as soon as that webinar is going to be going up. Otherwise, thanks so much, everyone who came out, had a great time. You guys asked really good questions this week, so I appreciate that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week during the next live Q&A.